Hey guys, tonight we slip into the golden haze of ancient Alexandria, where the Nile's whispers carry secrets of a queen who could bend empires with a glance. Picture yourself on a bustling dock, the air thick with salt and spice, as a gilded barge glides into view, draped in purple silks that shimmer like liquid amethyst. At its heart stands Cleopatra, her presence pulling every eye like a magnet. You're here to unravel the secret behind her charm, but fair warning, chasing her story might leave you spellbound or utterly lost in her web. You probably won't survive this unscathed. So, before you get comfortable, take a moment to like the video and subscribe, but only if you genuinely enjoy what I do here. Drop a comment with your location and local time. I'm curious where you're drifting off from tonight. Now, dim the lights, maybe turn on a fan for that soft background hum, and let's ease into tonight's journey together. You're standing on Alexandria's waterfront, the crowd buzzing like bees around a hive. The year is 51 BCE, and Cleopatra, barely 18, has just claimed Egypt's throne alongside her younger brother, Ptolemy XIII. Mainstream history tells us she inherited a crumbling kingdom, riddled with debt and Roman meddling, yet she turned it into a stage for her legend. Her barge, loaded with incense and musicians, isn't just a boat. It's a floating theater. You notice her posture, regal but relaxed, her eyes scanning the crowd like she's memorizing every face. There's a quirky tidbit here. Some say she used crocodile dung face masks to keep her skin flawless, a beauty hack that makes your stomach churn. True or not, it's the kind of wild detail her enemies love to whisper. Her charm starts here, in this moment. It's not just her face, though historians still argue whether she was a stunner or merely striking. Plutarch, writing centuries later, insists her allure was in her voice, smooth as honey, and her wit, sharp enough to cut through any room. You watch her step ashore, her linen gown catching the breeze, and the crowd parts like the Red Sea. She speaks to a merchant in his native Greek, then switches to Egyptian for a priest, her languages flowing like the Nile itself. This isn't just showmanship, it's strategy. Egypt's people, a mix of Greeks, Egyptians, and others, rarely saw a ruler bother with their tongue. You feel the crowd's awe, their murmurs softening into loyalty. But let's not romanticize too fast. You're also picking up on her edge. She's young, sure, but her eyes don't miss a thing. Rival nobles plotting in the shadows, Roman envoys sizing her up like vultures. She's playing a game where losing means death, and her charm is her sharpest weapon. You catch a whiff of her perfume, something floral with a bite, and it's like she's bottled confidence. A modern aside, Imagine her as the ultimate influencer, curating every move for maximum impact, except her content is an empire. Funny thing is, if she were on social media today, she'd probably clap back at haters with a meme and still look regal doing it. As she moves toward the palace, you trail behind, dodging stray dogs and street vendors hawking figs. Her guards don't just protect her, they frame her, their spears glinting like props in her performance. You're starting to get it. Her charm isn't one thing. It's the barge, the languages, the way she makes every person feel seen. But there's a cost. You overhear a sailor mutter about her brother's faction, already scheming to oust her. She's got charm, yeah, but it's a shield too, forged in a world that wants her gone. You're hooked now, wondering how she'll play this deadly chess game. The palace gates loom ahead, and you're itching to follow her inside. You're inside Alexandria's royal palace now, the air cool with marble and flickering torchlight, but the tension's thick as Nile mud. Cleopatra's throne glitters ahead, gold and ebony carved with falcons. But her brother Ptolemy XIII, all of 10 years old, slouches beside her, his advisors whispering like snakes. You're here to see how Cleopatra's charm weaves through power plays, turning enemies into pawns and allies into devotees. Her political game is a masterclass, and you're about to get a front row seat. The room hums with courtiers, Egyptian priests in linen, Greek scholars with ink-stained fingers, and Roman envoys in togas that scream, "We're watching you." Mainstream history confirms Cleopatra faced a fractured court in 51 BCE, with factions loyal to her brother itching to shove her out. Yet, she's not just sitting pretty, she's working the room. You watch her lean toward a priest, her voice low, promising temple funds. Then she's joking with a Greek merchant about his awful beard, and he's laughing, disarmed. Her charm isn't just sparkle, it's a scalpel, carving loyalty with precision. Here's a quirky tidbit. Some sources claim she once sent a rival a salted fish as a gift, a subtle Alexandrian insult, meaning you're done. Whether true or not, it fits her vibe. Cheeky, but never sloppy. You catch her eyeing Ptolemy's advisors, men like Pothinus, who'd love to see her head on a spike. She doesn't flinch. Instead, she summons a Roman officer, Pompey's man, and speaks flawless Latin, asking about his kids. He's charmed, blushing like a schoolboy. Historians still argue whether she was genuinely warm or just a cold-blooded strategist. You're leaning toward both. Her heart might beat for Egypt, but her head's all business. Let's pause for a modern aside. Think of her as a CEO in a boardroom full of sharks, except her quarterly report is keeping Egypt free from Rome's claws. She's got no MBA, just raw instinct. You notice her hands, steady as she gestures, rings catching the light like tiny suns. Each move feels scripted, but natural, like she's been rehearsing her whole life. Funny thing, if she were around today, she'd probably run a campaign that'd make political spin doctors cry with envy, all while posting a flawless selfie with hashtag Queen vibes. Now, the room shifts. Ptolemy's advisors call for a vote on grain taxes, a trap to undermine her. You hold your breath as she stands, her voice cutting through the chatter like a bell. She proposes a tax cut for farmers, framing it as loyalty to Egypt's gods. The priests nod, the crowd cheers. Pothinus looks like he swallowed a lemon. You're impressed. She's flipped the script, making herself the people's queen. But it's not all smooth sailing. Whispers spread that her brother's faction is plotting exile. You see her glance at a guard, a subtle signal, and wonder what's next. Her charm's secret here is adaptability. She reads the room like a book, knowing when to flatter, when to command. You smell incense, heavy and sweet, as she moves to a balcony overlooking Alexandria. The city sprawls below, a maze of temples and markets, and you realize she's not just charming people, she's charming an empire, but danger's closing in. You hear a servant mention Caesar and Rome, and Cleopatra's eyes narrow, like a cat spotting prey. She's already planning her next move, and you're dying to see it unfold. You're trailing Cleopatra through Alexandria's palace, the echo of your sandals lost in the clink of goblets and murmured plots. Torchlight dances on walls painted with lotus flowers, but the real spectacle is her, moving like she owns every shadow. Tonight, you're peeling back the layers of her seductive strategies, the calculated flirtations that made her charm a weapon sharper than any sword. She's not just a queen, she's a maestro of hearts, and you're about to see her play. The year is 48 BCE, and chaos reigns. Mainstream history tells us Cleopatra, exiled by her brother's faction, sneaks back into Egypt to meet Julius Caesar, Rome's big shot, who's parked in Alexandria. You're there as she famously arrives, rolled up in a carpet, or maybe a sack, depending on who's gossiping. Unfurled before Caesar, she rises, linen gown clinging just right, her smile a mix of mischief and steel. It's not just her looks, it's the audacity, a quirky tidbit. Some say she spritzed herself with a custom perfume laced with lotus and myrrh, designed to linger in a man's memory. You catch a whiff, floral, with a kick, and yeah, it's unforgettable. Her seduction isn't crude, it's surgical. You watch her lean close to Caesar, her voice a velvet purr, dropping witty Latin phrases that make him chuckle. She's 21, he's 52, yet she's got him hooked, his stern face softening. Historians still argue whether it was love or pure strategy. Did she care for Caesar, or was he just a means to Egypt's throne? You're betting on strategy, but her eyes, flickering with warmth, make you second guess. She's selling a fantasy, the exotic queen, who's also his intellectual equal. Picture it like a modern dating app, except her profile's a kingdom, and her swipe right is a power move. Funny thing, if she were on one today, her bio would probably read, fluent in 9 languages, bad at losing. DM me if you've got an empire. You smirk, but her charm's no joke. She mirrors Caesar's energy, serious when he talks war, playful when he boasts about Rome. You notice her touch his arm, light as a feather, and his posture shifts like he's hers already. It's not just about romance. She's securing Egypt's future. The room's a haze of wine and ambition. Caesar's men watch, some leering, others suspicious. Cleopatra ignores them, focusing on her target. She mentions Alexandria's library, inviting Caesar to visit, knowing he's a nerd for knowledge. It's a baited hook, and he bites. You're impressed. She's not just flirting. She's building a partnership. But there's a catch. Whispers spread about her brother's army, closing in. She's betting everything on this Roman, and if it fails, she's toast. You follow them to a balcony, the Nile glinting under moonlight. She points out constellations, weaving Egyptian myths with Greek star names. Caesar's entranced, and you get it. Her charm's a cocktail of brains, boldness, and just enough mystery. But you also see her glance back, checking for spies. This isn't just seduction, it's survival. As they head inside, her laughter rings out, and you're left wondering how she makes it look so easy. You're whisked from Alexandria's palace, the scent of myrrh still lingering, to a Roman ship docked at Tarsus in 41 BCE. The air's warm, heavy with anticipation, as Cleopatra prepares to meet Mark Antony, Rome's brash new power player. You're here to see her as a cultural chameleon, slipping into foreign courts with a charm that bends hearts and borders alike. Her ability to shapeshift, Greek queen, Egyptian goddess, Roman ally, is her superpower, and you're about to witness it in action. The ship's deck is a floating palace, draped in crimson sails and gilded with lotus motifs. Mainstream history records this meeting as a turning point. Cleopatra, now 28, needs Antony's military muscle to secure Egypt, while he craves her wealth. You watch her emerge, dressed as Aphrodite, gold diadem glinting, her attendants fanning peacock feathers. It's theatrical, sure, but it's working. Antony's jaw practically hits the deck. A quirky tidbit? She reportedly had her crew scatter rose petals so thick they cushion the floor, a flex that screams, "I'm richer than your wildest dreams." You step carefully, petals sticking to your sandals. Her charm here is cross-cultural wizardry. She greets Antony in flawless Greek, then tosses in Latin quips about his soldier's life, making his men chuckle. You notice she studied him, his love for excess, his ego, and tailored her approach. Historians still argue whether she genuinely admired Antony or just played him like a liar. You're leaning toward the latter, but her laughter, bright and warm, blurs the line. She's not just a queen, she's a mirror, reflecting what each culture wants to see. Imagine her as a modern diplomat, code switching at a global summit, charming everyone from CEOs to rebels. Funny thing, if she were around today, she'd probably nail a UN speech, then go viral for a sassy TikTok dance in traditional garb. You grin, but her skills no joke. She serves Antony Egyptian delicacies, honeyed figs, spiced duck, while praising Rome's legions. He's eating it up, literally and figuratively. Her bilingual banter, laced with just enough flirtation, keeps him leaning closer. The ship sways gently, musicians strumming lyres as stars prick the sky. Cleopatra shifts gears, invoking Isis, Egypt's mother goddess, to bless their alliance. Antony, half drunk on wine, and her presence, nods solemnly. You're struck by her genius. She's made herself divine, yet approachable, foreign, yet familiar. But there's a shadow. Roman envoys mutter about Octavian, Antony's rival, watching from afar. Cleopatra's playing a high-stakes game, and one wrong move could sink her. You follow them to a banquet table, where she toasts Antony's victories, her eyes locking with his. She's not just charming him, she's charming his entire entourage, from gruff centurions to snooty senators. You smell roasted cumin, hear the clink of goblets, and realize she's rewriting the rules of power. As the night deepens, she leans back, serene, while Antony boasts louder. You're hooked, wondering how she'll navigate the Roman world next. You're swept into the heart of Alexandria, where the streets pulse with music and the air's thick with roasted nuts and jasmine. It's 40 BCE, and Cleopatra's throwing one of her legendary festivals, a public spectacle that's less party and more propaganda in disguise. You're here to witness how her theatrical charm captivates Egypt's people, turning crowds into loyal subjects with a mix of dazzle and cunning. The city's her stage, and you're in the front row. Torches blaze along the Canopic Way, Alexandria's main drag, as a parade rolls through. Mainstream history notes Cleopatra's festivals were strategic, designed to unify a diverse empire and flex her wealth. You see her atop a golden float, dressed as Isis, her linen robes shimmering like moonlight. The crowd roars. Greeks, Egyptians, merchants, all hypnotized. A quirky tidbit: she once had elephants painted with gold dust for a procession, a stunt so extra it left even jaded nobles gobsmacked. You spot a few glittering trunks swaying in the distance and can't help but smirk. Her charm's a spectacle, choreographed to perfection. She waves, her smile warm but regal, and tosses silver coins stamped with her face. The mob scrambles, chanting her name. You notice her float's design: papyrus reeds and inks, blending Egyptian and Greek symbols to please everyone. Historians still argue whether these displays were genuine devotion to her people or just savvy PR. You're betting PR, but the way she kneels to touch a child's head feels so real, you waver. Think of it like a modern pop star's stadium show. All pyrotechnics and heartfelt speeches, except her tour keeps an empire glued together. Funny thing, if she were around today, she'd probably trend on X for throwing the ultimate block party, complete with a killer playlist and branded merch. You chuckle, dodging a street vendor hawking Cleopatra's charm amulets. Ironic, since her real charm's unfolding right now. The parade halts at a temple where she offers a bull to Amun-Ra. Her movements graceful, almost hypnotic. Priests chant, and the crowd hushes, caught in the ritual's spell. You smell incense, sharp and smoky, and realize she's not just entertaining, she's deifying herself. But there's a hitch. You overhear merchants grumbling about taxes funding this extravaganza. Her charm's winning most, but not all. She seems to sense it, doubling down with a speech in Egyptian, promising prosperity. The doubters soften, swayed by her voice's cadence. As night falls, fireworks, yes, they had crude ones, crackle over the harbor. You watch her mingle, laughing with sailors, flattering nobles. Each gesture's a brushstroke in her masterpiece, a united Egypt. But you catch a Roman envoy scribbling notes, likely for Octavian. Her spectacles a gamble, and Rome's watching. You're left marveling at her nerve, eager to see what's next. You're slipping into a quieter corner of Alexandria, where the great library's marble halls hum with the rustle of papyrus and the murmur of minds at work. It's 39 BCE, and Cleopatra's not just a queen of spectacle. She's a magnet for scholars, her intellectual charm drawing the ancient world's brightest to her court. You're here to join her circle, to see how her brain, not just her beauty, wove a spell that kept Egypt's star burning. The air's sharp with ink and ambition, and you're about to dive in. Candlelight flickers over scrolls as you spot Cleopatra, surrounded by philosophers, astronomers, and poets. Mainstream history credits her with reviving Alexandria's intellectual scene, making it a hub rivaling Athens. She's leaning over a star chart, debating constellations with Sosigenes, the guy who'd later inspire Caesar's calendar. Her Greek is flawless, peppered with quips that make the old scholar grin. A quirky tidbit: she allegedly kept a pet baboon that read scrolls. More likely, it just chewed them, but the story made her court sound exotic. You glance around, half expecting to see a monkey, but it's just dusty tomes. Her charm here is cerebral, a blend of curiosity and command. She asks questions, sharp ones, about planetary orbits, then shifts to a poet reciting verses about Isis. You're struck by her range. She's not faking interest. She's devouring it. Historians still argue whether she was a true scholar or just a patron playing the part to boost her image. You lean toward scholar. Her ease with complex ideas feels too natural, but the way she name-drops Euclid for clout suggests a performer's touch. Picture her as a modern talk show host, charming Nobel laureates and artists alike, all while steering the conversation. Funny thing, if she were around today, she'd probably host a podcast called Cleopatra's Brain Trust, trending for its mix of wit and wisdom. You smile, but her skill's serious. She turns to a geographer, asking about Nile flood patterns, her voice low, almost ASMR soothing. The room leans in, hooked. She's not just learning, she's showing her court that knowledge is power. The vibe shifts when a Roman envoy enters, sent by Antony. She switches to Latin, tossing in a joke about his toga's bad fit, and he laughs, disarmed. You see it. She's using her intellect to charm even outsiders, making Egypt indispensable. But there's a shadow. You overhear a scholar whisper about funding cuts to the library, hinting at Egypt's shaky finances. Her charm's holding this room, but the empire's cracks are showing as she moves to a balcony, pointing out Orion's belt. You smell sea salt and papyrus dust. She's weaving Greek myths with Egyptian star lore, her voice a lullaby that binds her circle tighter. You're captivated, but you also notice her glance toward the harbor, where Roman ships lurk. Her mind's her charm's core, but it's also her shield in a world closing in. You're back in Alexandria's glow, the city's pulse, a mix of sea breeze and whispered rumors. But now you're peering through the haze of time, questioning the myth of Cleopatra's charm. It's 38 BCE, and her legend as a heart-stopping beauty is already larger than life. Yet you're here to sift fact from fiction, to unravel whether her allure was skin deep or something else entirely. The streets hum with her name, and you're diving into the stories that paint her as goddess and schemer. Mainstream history leans on Plutarch's take. Cleopatra's charm wasn't her face, but her voice, wit, and presence, though Roman propaganda often called her a seductress supreme. You're strolling past a marketplace where vendors hawk Cleopatra's beauty oil, a scam capitalizing on her fame. A quirky tidbit: some ancient texts claim she bathed in donkey milk for radiant skin, a ritual so lavish it fueled her divine image. Though you're skeptical, imagining the logistics of sourcing all that milk, the thought makes you chuckle, but it underscores her myth's power. Let's get real. Was she a knockout? You pause at a temple wall, eyeing her carved profile. Hawk nose, strong chin, not exactly Hollywood's ideal. Historians still argue whether her beauty was physical or a construct of her charisma and brains. You're betting on the latter. Picture her at a banquet, not outshining every woman, but commanding the room with a laugh that lands like a dart. Her eyes, coal-lined, seem to read souls, and her words, Greek, Latin, Egyptian, shift to suit her audience. That's the real magic, not some airbrushed fantasy. Think of it like a modern celebrity whose look is half vibe, half PR. Funny thing, if she were around today, she'd probably roll her eyes at Instagram filters, knowing her real filter was her mind. You grin, but the stakes are high. Rome's poets, like Horace, spin her as a femme fatale to justify Octavian's war. You overhear a Roman trader call her a siren, and it stings. She's fighting a narrative that paints her as all beauty, no substance. You slip into a tavern where sailors swap tales of her with Antony, their romance now public. One swears she bewitched him with potions, a fringe rumor you dismiss, but it shows how her charm's been mythologized into sorcery. She's not here, but her presence lingers in every story, every coin with her face. You realize her beauty was a tool, wielded to dazzle and deflect. She let people project their dreams or fears onto her, then used it to rule. As you leave, the stars burn bright, and you wonder how much of her myth she crafted herself. The truth feels slippery, like sand through your fingers. Her charm wasn't just looks, it was the story she let others tell. You're hooked, eager to see how she played the game of love and power next. You're swept into the heat of Alexandria's royal quarter, where the air buzzes with scandal and the Nile's shimmer hides a world of high-stakes gambles. It's 37 BCE, and Cleopatra's romances with Rome's heavyweights, Julius Caesar and now Mark Antony, are the talk of every tavern and temple. You're here to track these dangerous liaisons, to see how her charm fueled strategic brilliance, turning love into a chess move that could save or sink her empire. The stakes are deadly, and you're right in the thick of it. Mainstream history confirms Cleopatra's relationship with Antony wasn't just passion, it was a political alliance cemented by mutual need. Egypt's wealth bankrolled his campaigns, while his legions shielded her throne. You're at a lavish banquet, gold plates piled with pomegranates and roasted peacock, as Cleopatra reclines beside Antony. She's 32, radiant in a sapphire blue gown, her laughter coaxing grins from his grizzled soldiers. A quirky tidbit: she once bet Antony she could host the priciest dinner ever, then dissolved a pearl in vinegar and drank it. Showy, but it screamed, "I'm untouchable." You watch her toast him, her eyes glinting, and wonder if the pearl story's true or just her flair for drama. Her charm here is a tightrope walk. She teases Antony about his battle scars, her voice warm but edged, keeping him enthralled yet on his toes. You see them trade stories, her of Nile floods, him of Parthian wars, and it's clear she's his equal, not just his lover. Historians still argue whether she loved Antony or used him to counter Rome's growing threat. You're torn. Her hand on his arm feels genuine, but her glances at her advisors scream calculation. Love or not, she's playing for Egypt's survival. Picture it like a modern power couple, all red carpet chemistry, but with contracts behind the smiles. Funny thing, if she were around today, she'd probably dodge paparazzi while leaking just enough couple goals to keep the world obsessed. You smirk, but her game's no joke. Octavian, Antony's rival, is spinning their romance as proof of her corrupting influence. You overhear a Roman envoy mutter about Antony's folly, and it hits you. She's risking everything on this man. The banquet spills onto a terrace, where musicians strum and the sea breeze carries salt and tension. Cleopatra gifts Antony a fleet of ships, her charm sealing the deal as she whispers promises of glory. He's all in, but you spot her scanning the horizon, where Roman threats loom. Her liaisons are brilliant. Caesar got her the throne. Antony keeps it. But they're also a trap. One misstep, and Octavian's propaganda wins. You're gripped, wondering how she'll spin her image next to stay ahead. You're standing in Alexandria's bustling agora, where the sun bakes the cobblestones and the chatter of merchants blends with the squawk of gulls. It's 36 BCE, and Cleopatra's charm is no longer just personal. It's a machine, crafting her image as a living goddess across Egypt and beyond. You're here to unravel her propaganda genius, how she spun her mystique into a tool that shaped empires and silenced doubters. Every statue, coin, and whispered tale is part of her plan, and you're about to see it unfold. Mainstream history shows Cleopatra was a master of self-branding, using art and ceremony to cement her power. You spot a new statue of her as Isis, her serene face towering over the market, snakes curling around her arms. Crowds kneel, offering figs and prayers. A quirky tidbit? She had her profile minted on coins, with a hooked nose and strong jaw, defying Greek beauty standards. Bold, like she's saying, "This is me. Deal with it." You finger a coin in your pocket, her image worn but commanding, and feel her audacity. Her propaganda's a web, spun with precision. You watch scribes distribute papyrus flyers, proclaiming her as Egypt's savior, tying her to myths of Horus and Ra. She's not just ruling, she's rewriting the story of who a queen can be. Historians still argue whether her divine image was heartfelt devotion to Egypt's gods or a cold ploy to control the masses. You lean toward ploy, but the way she joins a temple rite, her voice chanting in Egyptian, feels so authentic you hesitate. She's a chameleon, blending faith and strategy. Think of her as a modern PR guru, curating a brand that's half rock star, half deity. Funny thing, if she were around today, she'd probably hire a top agency to flood X with #Cleopatra. Rules hashtags, all while posing for a Vogue cover. You grin, but her work's deadly serious. Rome's Octavian paints her as a decadent witch, so she counters with images of stability. Temples restored, granaries full. You see a mural of her and Antony as Osiris and Isis, their twins painted as divine heirs. And it's clear she's building a dynasty to outlast her. The air shifts as a Roman envoy passes, sneering at her statue. Her propaganda's working on Egypt, but Rome's a tougher sell. You hear whispers of her funding poets to sing her praises in Athens, a soft power flex. The market's alive with her presence. Vendors sell Isis Cleopatra charms. Kids play at being her guards. She's everywhere, yet untouchable. As you leave, the sun dips, and her statue catches the light, almost winking. You're awed, wondering how her myth will echo after her. You're standing on Alexandria's harbor, the sea stretching like a dark mirror under a 34 BCE sky. The weight of Cleopatra's story settling around you. Her charm, woven through spectacle, wit, and sheer will, has carried her this far. But now you're here to trace its echo, to reflect on why her mystique endures centuries after her final breath. The city hums behind you, alive with her legacy, and you're ready to unravel what made her charm immortal. Mainstream history crowns Cleopatra as the last Hellenistic ruler. Her 21-year reign, a defiance of Rome's shadow, until Octavian's victory at Actium in 31 BCE. You gaze at the lighthouse, its flame a beacon she nurtured, still guiding ships as her name guides storytellers. A quirky tidbit? Medieval poets spun her as a sorceress who flew on a golden chariot, a wild exaggeration that shows how her charisma warped even distant tales. You smile, imagining her scoffing at the fantasy, but it's proof her legend outgrew her life. Her charm's lasting secret was its layers. You recall her barge, her languages, her pearl in vinegar stunt, each a thread in a tapestry that wove ruler, goddess, and enigma into one. Historians still argue whether her charm was a tool of survival or a genuine gift that flowed from her core. You're split. Her calculated moves scream strategy, but her warmth, like when she knelt for that child, hints at something deeper. She made people believe in her, and that belief outlived her, carved into every statue, whispered in every tale. Picture her as a modern icon, her face on t-shirts, her story fueling biopics. Funny thing, if she were around today, she'd probably trademark her own myth, laughing as she banked on her fame. You chuckle, but her impact's no joke. From Shakespeare's plays to ex-posts debating her beauty, she's a cultural lodestone, pulling imaginations across time. You smell salt and smoke, the harbor's pulse a reminder of her world, and realize her charm was a bridge between cultures, eras, truths. As you turn from the sea, her story softens, its edges blurring like a dream. The stars above whisper of her, each pinpoint a life touched by her light. You feel her presence not as a queen, but as a woman who bent fate with nothing but herself. Her charm wasn't just power, it was possibility, a spark that still burns. The night deepens now, Alexandria's glow fading into a gentle hush. You're drifting, the harbor's lap against the stones a lullaby, carrying you from her world to yours. Let the stars blanket you, their soft gleam a reminder that stories, like hers, linger beyond the telling. Your eyelids grow heavy, the sea's rhythm slowing your breath, and you're safe here, wrapped in the quiet of history's embrace. Sleep calls, a tide pulling you under, where dreams of queens and empires wait. Rest now, let her charm fade into whispers and sink into the peace of night.